All right, so I'm gonna go over layers again a little bit in this, and we're going to work with some line art. We're gonna basically work with a coloring book page. You're never too old for coloring book pages, ever. So remember, we're working in Pixlr E. That's the advanced photo editor version of the software. You're still going to want to go to Create New. The name will be your first and last name, and then coloring page. Remember to turn the background on and set it to white, and then hit Create. So there's two tools we're going to use. We're going to work more with the Layer tool, which is over in this corner here. And we're also going to work with the Wand Select tool, which will let us pick all the colors on a layer that are the same. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get my coloring page. I need something to color. So if I press this little plus sign, it gives me a menu of different types of layers I can make. The one we want is called Image. It looks kind of like a mountain with a sun. Once you click that, it'll give you all sorts of different things on your computer, images you already have. So you'll have to have downloaded one of our coloring book pages to do this. I am going to do Van Gogh's Starry Night. It's one of my favorite images. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And now I want to color it. Now there's a few ways to color. The first one most people do is they just start coloring and maybe use the fill tool. That's fine in a lot of cases. However, if you make a mistake and want to erase it, see, I went over the line here. When I erase it, on my layer that has the coloring book page, it erases the lines, and I don't want to erase the lines. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go back to transform. Now I'm going to give my layers some new names. I'm going to change the name of my coloring book page by right-clicking on the layer, deleting the name it has, and changing it to line art. I don't need to worry about the rest of it. Don't worry about that. I just want to change the name right now to line art. Layer 1, I'm going to change to colors. So I'll be coloring on my color image. Now, if I were to stop now and just start trying to color, I have my colors layer available. I have it highlighted, so that's the one I'm working in. Now I'm going to try coloring that same area. Doesn't show up. Layers kind of work like putting pieces of paper on top of each other. So right now I have a piece of paper that, yeah, I'm drawing on it, but I can't see it because there's another piece of paper on top that I can't see through right now. So we're going to fix that. Let me go back to layer name. I'm going to select my line art layer. So just click on it, make sure it's highlighted. That's the one you want to be working in. Now I'm going to go to my magic wand tool, the wand select tool. And I'm going to change a couple settings on this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the tolerance. The tolerance is what range of colors you have. Now right now it looks like it's just white and black. But the thing is, when I select it and delete it, which is what we're going to do, we're going to delete all the white on this layer. Edit, cut, go to my images, my colors layer. There's a couple things you can see. The first one is that it's only coloring in the area that I selected. Just this one area. That can be very useful sometimes. Very useful. We'll talk about it later. But also there's this little line of white that I don't want. I want it to be a solid black line. So let's go back a little bit. Go to my line art, my magic wand tool. I'm going to raise the tolerance. There's just this little line of a white that's just a little tiny bit darker that it's not getting when I try to select. I'm going to do a couple other things. I'm going to raise the tolerance to 100. 102 is close enough. I'm going to click on this that looks like two squares connected. That means whatever I select, I'm adding to what I've already selected. And then I'm going to turn off contiguous. That's a big word for it shares the same border. That's why it only selected this big area here instead of everything. I wanted to select all the white on my layer. So I click again, and now you can kind of see these dancing lines, these dotted lines around all the different line arts. I'm going to go to Edit and Cut, and let's see how I color now. Grab my Draw tool. There's still some areas, but I can see a little tiny bit of white. But that's much better. Much better. So now I can color on my colors layer. If I decide I need to erase something, I can erase it. And as long as I have my colors layer selected, it's not gonna delete my line arts. If you're coloring for comics or for webcomics, this is a good way to do it. You can get more complicated, you can add more layers. But for starts, I just want you to do two. I want you to do one that has your colors on it and one that has your line art on it. To save it, go to File, Save, and Download. And now you'll have your file to turn in for your class assignments.